So, today we're going to dive into the really profound mental journey of long distance sailing. We're talking about an adventure that pushes the boundaries not just of the map, but of the human mind itself. Let's get right into it. It's a question that's fascinated people forever, right? What really happens to your mind when you're out there, alone, with nothing but the sea? Beyond the obvious physical challenges, there's this deep psychological odyssey. Is it a journey to inner peace or a fast track to madness? And, the answer isn't simple at all. The whole experience is this amazing paradox. On the one hand, it can be incredibly restorative, a chance to find real clarity and calm. But on the other, it's one of the most mentally draining things a person can possibly go through. Okay, so let's start right there with this fundamental tension. This is where that romantic idea of total freedom crashes right into the hard reality of needing extreme mental strength. Think of the ocean not just as a huge body of water, but as a kind of psychological crucible. It's an environment that strips away all the noise of our daily lives and really tests the core of who you are. It demands a level of mental fortitude that very, very few other experiences can. So first, let's look at the really tough stuff, because to even begin to understand the rewards, you have to understand the psychological storms you have to get through first. And believe me, they can be fierce. Sailors face this unique barrage of mental hurdles. We're talking about deep, profound isolation, relentless stress and fatigue, the pressure cooker of being confined in a small space, a total loss of control to Mother Nature, and a culture where asking for help can still be seen as a weakness. And the depth of this isolation is just hard to imagine. You are literally cut off from your entire support system. Even if you have a crew, if you don't click, you can feel completely and utterly alone. And that can spiral into apathy or even severe depression. And the consequences? Wow, they are incredibly stark. This isn't just about feeling a bit lonely. It is a serious mental health crisis. The rate of suicidal thoughts among seafarers is estimated to be many, many times higher than for those of us on land. That is a truly sobering reality. Now, on top of that, imagine constant, high-stakes stress. You're battling wicked weather, you're running on fumes with almost no sleep, and you're having to make these huge, life-or-death decisions. This relentless pressure just leads to this deep mental fatigue that can really cloud your judgment right when you need it most. And you're dealing with all of this while basically trapped in a tiny box. For weeks, sometimes months, the same few faces are the only ones you see. It is the perfect recipe for conflict, which can just torpedo team morale and your own well-being. After hearing all of that, you have to be asking the obvious question, right? Why on earth would anyone sign up for this? It sounds like an absolute nightmare. But that's only half the story. Because here's the thing. On the other side of those psychological storms, sailors often find this kind of mental safe harbor, a really profound sense of calm and clarity that can absolutely change their lives. Often, this whole journey inward starts with the sea itself. The rhythmic sound of the waves, that endless horizon, the gentle rocking of the boat. This whole environment can trigger a really powerful meditative state. It's often called having a blue mind. So, what exactly is a blue mind? Well, it's this calm, peaceful, almost trance-like state that being near water can bring on. It's a chance for our totally overstimulated modern brains to finally just switch off, to rest and to recover. It's basically mindfulness delivered by the ocean. And the benefits that come out of this state are huge. Sailors build an incredible amount of resilience. They form this deep, deep connection with nature. They forge these unbreakable bonds of camaraderie. And ultimately, they go on this powerful journey of self-discovery. Just think about it for a second. When you successfully get through a terrifying storm or you fix a critical piece of gear in the middle of nowhere, you're not just surviving. No way. You are actively building this deep reservoir of self-confidence and mental toughness that you get to carry with you for the rest of your life. And it goes beyond just personal strength. There's this deeper, almost spiritual connection that happens. Being completely immersed in nature, seeing its raw power and its quiet beauty up close, that can be a genuinely transformative and life-affirming experience. Okay, so how do we square this? The intense pressure on one side and this profound peace on the other. Well, the answer is in understanding how one actually creates the other. It's about how the immense pressure of the deep sea is exactly what forges the pearl. And you can see that connection laid out perfectly right here. The intense pressure of isolation forces you to discover a deep well of self-reliance. The constant stress and failure, well, that builds an unbreakable resilience. And that complete loss of control to the ocean, it gives you a much deeper, more humble perspective on life. So this is really the key takeaway here. The peace isn't something you find by avoiding the storm. The strength, the clarity, the self-discovery, all of it is forged in the storm. The benefits aren't some reward you get for enduring the hard stuff. They are a direct result of it. And that really leaves us with one final thought. You don't have to be a sailor to find this dynamic playing out in your own life. So ask yourself, what is your open ocean? What is that great, intimidating challenge that, if you actually dare to face it, holds the key to your own greatest transformation?